Howdy gang, this is the Roaming Prepper, Pete here. I had a special request from someone very close to the family, basically someone who's extended family to us. Is new to handgunning and recently purchased a subcompact 9mm. Wanted some pointers on how to clean it, how to keep it maintained. Not gunsmithing level stuff, but just some 101 things to take care of when you have a new handgun. So this is geared more for the beginning and intermediate shooters, folks who are still learning. I'll be right back, and we're going to go through what I do to clean a handgun. Hey friends. Okay, so it just turns out that the individual who asked me to kind of throw together a quick video for him actually bought a SIG 365 XL, which is exactly the firearm my wife just recently purchased. So I'd already done a teardown, and actually I've done another video on this particular weapon. And so if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. This is the SIG 365. Now this is the XL version. So just confirming safety, mags out. The other mags are here. Whenever I'm handling a firearm, especially when I'm cleaning or training, if I'm not on a live fire range, I like to take the mags and make sure the mags are empty and away from the weapon. That's just a point of safety. It never hurts to take an extra step. You have no idea how many stories I've heard and people I've met who've actually inadvertently chambered around because they had loaded and live mags near their cleaning area, and they were just function teching the weapon and put a hole in the wall. Actually, no, one guy put a hole in himself, so not something you want to do. So in any case, let me angle the camera here a little bit. And as you can see, my weird tackle box cleaning kit. I'll do a separate video on why I do that. That's something I've done for over 20 years. But in any case, so this is the 365. As you guys may remember from the other review, it is a 9mm. It's a tapered stack, so it's not a double nor a single. It's double at the bottom, and then it tapers to single up on the top, which allows them to keep a relatively thin frame. So I'm a big fan of this handgun. This one belongs to the missus. I'm probably going to get one of my own and make a transition. So first things first, when you take the handgun, clear the mag, make sure the weapon's clear. Now, once you've done that, for those of you who are newer shooters, you see this lever here. This is to lock the slide back. So I'm doing it sideways, which is not the way you should do it. But you grab it, and I recommend, some people will do it this way, but you're just using these two fingers. I like to grab it like this, push back, so you're using your pecs, and you lock it forward. You lift this little thing up. It's really hard to do it because my hand has to be on it when I do it. Let's see if I can do it backwards. Nope, can't. So anyway, when you slide the slide back, you push up on this rear lever. That locks the slide back. Now, this forward lever, you can put down. You saw what I did there. It's clockwise motion. You drop the slide, or you drop the slide release. Now, controlling the slide, push down on that rear and let it go back to its position. And then you can just push it forward. And there you go, the slide has come off. Now, this is the interior. So you notice I'm using a green pad. If you also notice, I have a black table in my home office. So if I have black parts on a black table, I start dropping stuff and then I can't find it. So the green pad prevents me from scratching the table or the components, and also helps me not to drop stuff on the side. Anyway, you push this spring in and gently take it out. Now the slide, with your finger in the ejection port, you push up, and with a little wiggling, there you go. That's it. Very similar to a lot of other polymer firearms, the Glock, the HK, some of the Kimbers, the 1911 style. It's a little more complicated because there's actually a loop under here you have to run the pin through, but this is not the case with this particular weapon. So as you can see, that's it. Now, I myself am a fan of ram oil. I don't like using solvents unless I've done some very heavy shooting. It tends to wear out the finish on some of the firearms. What I would do is you take a cleaning rod and you put a brush suitable for the caliber you have. In this case, a 9mm, so I have my little tackle box of fun here. And if I can find it, I will... Nope, that's 22. There we go, 38 9mm. What I recommend is I'll put a little bit, and if it's very corroded, you can contaminated, you could put some solvent. I like to put a little ram oil in there and run the brush through several times to get the heavy debris out of the barrel. Okay, once you get the heavy debris out of the barrel, I would recommend using a loop, if I can find the suitable one here. And you can put a cleaning patch through this. I'm just demonstrating. I'm not actually going to do it right now because the weapon has already been cleaned. But put it through here. Some people will use a bore snake, but for such a short barrel, that's kind of more of a problem than it's worth. I will put a little bit of rem oil or some solvent if you need it. Now that you've used the brass brush, you can use this to clean out the interior of the barrel. And you wipe it until it's, you should be able to look at it in the light and it shines. And actually you can see it kind of there. It's kind of hard to show on this camera. But yeah, you can see it shines inside. I'll look at it in the light, make sure I don't have any corrosion. It also doesn't hurt to, if need be, wipe it down manually, get little bits. And actually, there was a little bit of gunk there, which is fine. I also recommend that if you're not shooting that particular weapon every 3 to 6 months, pull them apart anyway and give them a cleaning and a function check. Now the spring, you can spray a little bit with rem oil or some other spray cleaner. I really don't think you need to use solvent here. And peppermint, knock it off. And the corgi is right now where she doesn't belong, but anyway. You get a little bit of the debris off of that. Now, this one, again, you can see it's pretty clean. There's my fingerprints on it, actually. I like to, you could put a brass brush, something like, well, this one's kind of grody. This one I need to replace, but a brass brush that looks better than this nasty one. I guess I need to replace that. You could clean in here gently. I would not use steel brush on this kind of firearm. You'll take that finish right off. You can also just use some spray and the cloth and get in here and clean. You have grooves on either side of the slide. Just give it a good cleaning in there. A lot of the more modern firearms don't require a lot of maintenance. Then you'll be doing the same thing in here. I'm going to get another, I would wipe down in here. When you shoot, you're going to get some fouling in the, where the magazine well is. This is called the Magwell for those of you unfamiliar. And I would wipe in there and get debris out. Now if you want, you could put a little bit of the rem oil or a light lubricant on the rails. Some people do, some don't. I do. I've been doing it for 20-something years, 25 years, geez. Actually, I have an HK that's absolutely immaculate, and I've been doing this to it for years. I've got at least 8,000 rounds through it. It was a 97 vintage HK, so it's an old gun, and it I'll take it any day of the week. Anyway, you clean in here, clean the rails, put a little very light lubricant, almost like fingertip in there, and then you reassemble. To reassemble this particular weapon, you do the reverse. So you take your slide upside down, you insert your barrel, right? And it should sit as such. Now you see this disc on the spring. You have a disc and like this nub. The nub goes forward, the disc sits right here. And you have to kind of push it in a little bit. So it does not sit right here at the edge. You see there's a little bit of a notch. I don't know if you guys can see that, a little bit of a notch in the barrel. So you just kind of slide it in there and done. And now, reassemble. Remember, this lever has to be down. If you flipped it up for some reason, it will not reassemble. Push your slide all the way back, and again, using this button, lock the slide to the rear. Right? Now, pop that slide up, and there you go. Now, you want to test it. Empty mag or no mag, the slide should just come forward. If it's an empty mag, it'll lock open, which is what it does when you're shooting. You can shoot, you release it. If you want, I don't recommend doing this often, but you can. Very gentle dry fire, preferably with a snap cap. I shouldn't do it like that, but I don't think once or a few times isn't going to kill your weapon. And that's it. You give it a wipe down, remove any excess oil. This particular model, you really don't need grease. I do grease my over-under because that one has metal on metal, a lot of metal on metal, and it gets really foul because I'll shoot hundreds of rounds in a tournament. Something like this, nope. And that's it. That's the one-on-one on a very simple field cleaning of a subcompact or compact 9mm, in this case the SIG XL. Springfield XDS is very similar in its design. The Glocks have a little like nub here. I don't own a Glock, so I have my HKs and my SIGs, but that you pull and it serves the function much like this lever. Folks, that's about it. Hey guys, so important thing to remember when you're cleaning your firearm. One, make sure the weapon's clear. Empty mag. It's just me. I've seen too much stupid to not do that. I recommend cleaning after usage. You go to the range, clean it. That's the time you want to clean it. What you don't want to do, you don't want to leave it unclean in your holster or in your car, wherever you're storing it, and then you need it and you fire one shot and it jams. All right, because now you have a major problem. You have not only a jam, you probably have a malfunctioning gun. So even if you manage to clear the jam, you're kind of in trouble. And again, if you're not shooting it, I'd recommend cleaning it once every 6 months, at least. 3 preferably, 6 if you can. Don't grab a shotgun or a pistol or anything, shoot it a bunch, and then stick it in the closet like that. It will get damaged, it will corrode, and then if you try to resell it or try to use it later, you're gonna have to clean the hell out of it, and you just made your life a lot harder. Folks, if you have any technical questions, feel free to leave comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. I wish all of you Godspeed who are traveling. God bless to all our troops and to everyone else. Be safe, be ready, pay attention, help someone out if you can, and shoot safely. We'll talk to you next time.